People, I don't think, realize that these trails up here are hardcore hiking trails.
Rescuers are urging caution after a dangerous and deadly weekend on hiking trails east of Portland. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Adams. Ashley Grahams joins us with the details on two separate rescue efforts. Ashley.
Yeah, John, search and rescue coordinators worked nearly 40 hours straight looking for hikers missing in two different locations in the Gorge. Now they're asking everyone to be prepared before heading outside.
I mean, it's really nondescript. This is it right here.
A trailhead just east of Multnomah Falls, suddenly the site of a search and rescue operation.
Nobody thinks they're going to go on a hike on a sunny day and get stuck on a cliff in the Columbia Gorge.
That's what happened Saturday night. Two women called 911. They were trapped on a cliff. Search and rescue teams used a drone to pinpoint their location after dark.
Both of them had cell phones that were very low on battery and dying.
Once law enforcement found them, rope rescue teams tried to make contact.
The terrain we got into was very, very steep. We had hundreds of feet of rope with us that we could have used to rappel, but there was way too much vegetation. It was all briars and thorns.
But then
we had an unexpected resolution.
The hikers were able to get down, emerging from the woods on their own about 10 the next morning.
That was fantastic news to see a photo texted to us that they were safe and well.
But not too far away, a different hiker went missing at Horsetail Falls on Friday. That operation continued early Saturday morning and ended much differently. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a 61-year-old woman was found dead around noon at the bottom of a cliff. They haven't released her name or said how she died.
People need to be prepared.
A stark reminder that the outdoors can be more dangerous than they seem.
We live in a beautiful area. The Gorge is absolutely beautiful, but it's not a walk in the park.
Now, some tips before you hike this spring: bring extra food, water, and a flashlight. Even if the hike doesn't seem difficult, be prepared in case you have to stay overnight. And if you do get stuck somewhere, stay where you are and wait for help to come to you. John.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Well, Portland police have arrested and charged a suspect they believe stabbed a man to death on the Steel Bridge on Friday. 31-year-old Noor M. Bahij was taken into custody Saturday morning near Northwest 5th Avenue in Flanders after police received a report of a person threatening someone with a knife. Investigators believe Nahij and an adult male were involved in a fight on the pedestrian pathway of the Steel Bridge on Friday. That man died at a local hospital after being stabbed. Bahij faces charges of manslaughter in the second degree, unlawful possession of a weapon. If you have any information on the incident, you're encouraged to contact Portland Police. Several people are forced to look for a new home following a dumpster fire that spread to a two-story apartment building. Portland fire crews were called just after midnight to the area of Northeast Schuler and 19th Avenue. When they got there, the fire had spread to the apartment up into the attic. They were able to limit the fire damage, but at least 5 units were uninhabitable. Investigators are still looking into what caused the fire. And Portland police are searching for whoever's responsible for hurting 2 people in a drive-by shooting early this morning. Officers were sent to a bar off of Northeast 14th and Broadway just after 1, where they found one of the victims and the other went to the hospital separately. Both are expected to survive. Police have not released a description of the suspects, only that they believe the shots were fired from a passing vehicle. A Portland man could face several charges, including first-degree assault, after an overnight stabbing in Old Town. Police say it happened near Northwest 6th Avenue in Gleason just after 2, following a fight between 2 groups. Officers arrived to find a man with serious injuries, but he is expected to survive. The suspect, 21-year-old Yaimer Funes Cruz, fled the scene. Witnesses were able to point officers in the right way, and he was arrested. Well, the St. Patrick's Day festivities were briefly interrupted by a drunk driving arrest. Portland police say a driver went through their barricades at Barber and Hamilton, nearly hitting someone taking part in the Shamrock run. Officers pulled them over in the parking lot of the Fred Meyer and arrested 62-year-old Brian Roan. They found open alcohol in his car. No one was hurt. Well, turning now to weather, our stretch of sunny and warm weather continued on today. We had perfect conditions for the Shamrock Run and other events taking place in the city. Joe Ranieri is joining us from the St. Patrick's Day festivities taking place down at the waterfront. And Joe, we talked about possibly some records could fall today in the temperature category. Did we get all the way there?
Yeah, we got very close. I'll show you that in a quick second, but we're live here in downtown Portland for Patty's. This is our 16th annual St. Patrick's Festival, and you can hear the music behind me, and the crowd behind me is really enjoying the festivities, and you really couldn't ask for better weather. This is the best stretch of weather we have seen so far this year, and John, it's going to continue heading into the next couple of days. So here's a look at the numbers. 1978 and 1941, those are the only two times that PDX has seen 5 days in the month of March with temperatures 70 or above. 4 or more times we've done that, 7. We're sitting at 3 times so far this year. The last time we saw a stretch with temperatures 70 or above for 4 straight days was in 2005. Now, I think there's a chance we get to that heading into tomorrow, thanks in part to this ridge of high pressure that's going to continue to sit over us the rest of tonight and all day tomorrow. We're not going to be seeing any clouds move in over the next couple of days. As we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, we're going to be seeing very pleasant temperatures heading into the evening hours. I have this stop tomorrow morning, a little bit of some cloud cover along the Oregon coast, but inland we're going to be seeing basically clear skies from beginning to end. Now the record for tomorrow is 71 degrees, so there's a good chance that we're going to be looking at another day with temperatures 70 or above, which would mark the 4th time or basically 4 days in a row that we've done that. As we go into Tuesday though, we will be seeing some changes move in with more of an onshore flow, but the last few days of winter is going to be feeling more like spring. Now the official start of spring doesn't happen until Tuesday night, but we're going to continue to see a chance for record-breaking temperatures tomorrow. Showers come in by the later part of this week with some cooler conditions, but look at these temperatures right now. Basically the mid to the upper 70s across the metro area. Some locations, excuse me, are flirting with 80 degrees, and it's middle part of March. So here's a look at the temperatures over the next 5 days. Daytime highs tomorrow in the mid 70s. I think we could be looking at record-breaking temperatures for your Monday. A little cooler for Tuesday, but there could be a chance Tuesday we sit at 70 degrees, which mark the 3rd time on record that we've seen temperatures 70 or above 5 times in the month of March. Now there's a 3% chance for the entire month to see 70 degrees, and we've done it a handful of times already. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast about 10 minutes from now.
All right, Joe, thank you. Looks like a lot of fun out there. Well, you could see nothing but a sea of green downtown this morning during the annual Shamrock Run. Thousands of runners hit the streets for the event that celebrates St. Patrick's Day and Irish heritage. The race featured multiple distances from the half marathon to the 1-mile leprechaun lap for kids. The race started and finished at the Tom McCall Waterfront Park. Runners say it's a tradition they look forward to every year.
It's kind of silly, to be honest. Like, I've done marathons before and more like a larger half marathons, but it's so fun to dress up, wear green, and just run.
This was the 46th year for the Shamrock Run. The post-race finish line festival featured plenty of green beer and live music. And a quick shout out, a couple members of our KGW crew, Sunrise Executive Director Cassie Taylor and Director Megan Keith, who's in the control room right now, represented us during that morning run. Well, it was a weekend of St. Patty's celebrations across the nation. This was Manhattan's 5th Avenue yesterday as crowds turned out for the annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. The beloved New York City tradition is billed as the largest celebration of Irish heritage in the world. There is even a record of a parade taking place back in 1762, years before the United States even became a country. President Joe Biden started the holiday this morning with a brunch at the White House. The president was joined in the East Room by Ireland's Prime Minister, leaders of the Catholic Church, and some 200 invited guests. In remarks, Biden expressed how much the time-honored tradition has meant to his family and reflected on his Irish heritage.
You know, this has always been a special day for the Biden family and the Biden household. It's not just about heritage, but it really is about faith. So much of it being Irish means to be connected to the Catholic teachings I grew up with.
The brunch menu featured traditional Irish dishes, including colcanin, which is mashed potatoes with cabbage, plus Irish soda bread, eggs Florentine, and bacon. And Chicago kicked off the weekend with a treasured tradition. The local plumbers union dyed the Chicago River green Saturday morning for the 69th year. Many wonder what's in that dye that turns the river green, but the plumbers union has yet to reveal their secret. The city shared that the mixture is environmentally friendly.